Hello, everyone, and welcome to the webinar brought to you by Tech Knowledge. We're excited to guide you on your AI journey through this webinar. We have a lot to share with you. The content of this webinar is usually delivered in a full-day training, but we're taking the main points that will help you actually empower your team and your executives, your organization with the right tools, knowledge, support, framework for you to lead and succeed. Let's achieve more together through the content of this webinar. Today's topic are around enabling user enablement for Copilot adoption or AI adoption in general. We will be talking about a quick introduction to the importance of adoption, and then we'll see some frameworks and strategies for you to begin your adoption journey. And then we'll see some actionable steps, implementation framework for you to start using today. And then once we see the framework working, we will shed the light on how to keep the momentum going. The last step in our journey today is going to be extending the capabilities, customizing and tailoring the capabilities of Copilot and Copilot agents to your organization need and context. We will not leave the fun behind. At the end of every section, there will be a summary for the section, some resources for you to visit. During the slides, there will be a couple of QR codes for you to scan to read more, because in 1 hour, we will not be able to deliver everything, but we will deliver what will give you the jump start for you to begin the journey of successfully adopt AI within your organization. And at the end of the resources, there will be a quick quiz. If you played Kahoot before, you know what I'm talking about. It's an interactive experience for us to reinforce the learning and test the knowledge. Let's begin. Now, well, what I want to say here is that most of the Copilot projects are actually failing around the globe. Most of the AI projects are failing. And the problem is organizations, they deal with AI projects and Copilot implementation as if it's just another tool they're bringing on to the stack of technology that they have. Well, no, it's not the case. Because it's not only a technical shift required, this is a whole new way of how we do tasks, how we do things, how jobs got to be done. So we need to focus not only on the implementation side of the technology, but the people side of the technology, those who will use the technology, the infrastructure as well, and the readiness of the organization. Yeah, culture-wise, when I say readiness, I mean culture-wise, I mean data-wise, I mean security as well. So there is an important of a legit solid plan for user enablement in order to cope with the change. Because when you bring AI technology like Copilot into your organization, this is not the end of the road. It's a continuous service that gets updated and improved and changed very frequently. So we need to keep up with those updates. We need to keep up with those changes, because they will be reflected on the way we do business, and they will be reflected on the way we use those tools as well. That being said, let me introduce to you the adoption framework for Copilot and AI services, or mainly Microsoft AI services. So the focus here is mainly on leadership, human change, and technical readiness. These are the three main pillars that any successful AI project focused on and achieve very good results and success. Why? Because let me begin with the last one, just to play with things a bit. Let's say it's just another tool we're implementing. Well, this tool will access your data, which means this tool, if you have oversharing, might cause you problems. This tool might expose sensitive data if you don't have the right setup of security, sensitivity labels in place, data classification. So there is some technical readiness that we need to address before we start the implementation. Don't forget the management buy-in. Don't forget leaders. We need to equip leaders with foundational learning, foundational training. Leaders must have the right business strategy in place. We need to create an AI council. The AI council will be formed by different technology leaders, business leaders from different divisions, because when we initiate an AI initiative or AI project, it must support the business strategy and business goals and objectives and so on. So we need one forum to take lead on this initiative, and that will be the AI Council. And we need to provide leadership with a chance to choose quick wins, to tell us, well, if, as an output of the AI Council, what does success look like? Yeah, what are the quick wins that we can achieve? What are the scenarios that we want to focus on? Do I want to bring AI just for the sake of having AI? Am I just following a trend? Or maybe I have a real productivity issue that I want to address. And in this productivity issue, am I trying to achieve a certain number? Am I trying to automate certain processes? We need this AI concept to help us identify use cases, identify KPIs. So when we start the AI adoption, we tailor it to the organization culture and needs. So the best practice when it comes to handling the leadership pillar is to create an AI council. The next pillar that we have is human change, where it actually requires a dedicated work stream. Yeah, we need to invest on the employee experience. Should they use Copilot or should I create agents for them? Do they know how to use Copilot in Microsoft 365? Well, maybe I need to begin with foundational training for them. And one important factor, let me pause here and tell you something. The deck that we've put for you here today, this is the conclusion of our technology, experience doing adoption, and Microsoft experience as well, starting with Microsoft being the customer 0. So back to the human change. Authentically integrate feedback. Listen to the end users. Understand their feelings and emotions. Because you know what? In digital transformation, usually we have some resistance, and those employees who resist the change, we even have a term for them. We call them techno-stressed. So those techno-stressed, instead of their creativity goes high, their creativity actually goes down because they're refusing the technology. So I need to understand why. How do they feel about the technology? What are the obstacles that they're facing? So this is the best practice in this pillar, to get and respond authentically to user feedback. And on the technical pillar, the last one, you need to provide the right training for your expert resources. You need to manage and mitigate risk, and you need to improve service management processes as well. So the best practice on the technical readiness part is to create an AI center of excellence, where you will equip this center of excellence with skilled resources that will act as a shared service, yeah, and it will support you during the adoption journey. It will support the end users, answer questions, troubleshoot issues, and so on. A place for your end users to go to. This approach should be, let me rephrase, this approach must be people first approach. Yeah. So the people first strategy basically sets the whole adoption around human as in the center of it. Yeah. Innovations like generative AI, like Copilot, for instance, are transformative. The focus should be on people adopting the people first strategy. The impact of these products on your organization depends on how well do they know about the business, how well do they know about how to use the tool, how well your end users knows about how to implement the new AI technologies in their daily business and daily processes, how to integrate this. What we want to achieve here for you to successfully adopt Copilot and AI projects is the aha moment. Yeah, when the end users realize what's in it for me. Well, when you explain and transfer this knowledge in a transparent way, you will get their ears. You will start lifting up the techno-stressed employees, but you need to understand their emotions first. I'd like to call it trust before tech. Yeah, I've left you my latest LinkedIn article here. It's all about trust before tech. Feel free to check it out. Moving on. You need to map micro actions. Well, the table in front of you presents a typical business user journey for information workers. Yeah, you see it highlights certain phases. I don't know if you see my cursor or not. Discover and try phase. We got envision phase. We got onboarding and empower phase, and realize and drive. Let me break that to you. So you need to ask the right questions to understand understand the gap in order to address it correctly with micro actions. So for instance, on the discover phase, a sample question could be, why should I care about this new service? That's what your end users will ask. Why should I care about Copilot? I'm doing my work fine. Besides, don't forget that they think that Copilot is going to replace their job. So we need to address that. Others think that, you know what? There could be a security leak. I don't want this technology. So we need to address that as well with the right change, with the right communication plan, with the right training. All right. So capture their feelings. Well, how do they feel about the technology? We're just discovering the technology now. Yeah. So maybe your go-to, maybe your micro action would be a foundational training in here. Yeah. In preparation for the change. On another phase where they know the basics now, they got their hands dirty, they played with the product, but then this product is updated, or now they understand the value, but they don't really know the hidden gems within the product. So questions like, how will I use this capability are the ones that you want to address. Capture how they feel. Offer them hands-on learning. Offer them interactive sessions. Yeah, get their aha moment. And so on. When they ask, well, when can I use this new capability? Well, do you have a licensing plan, licensing issue plan? We all know that Copilot is a license base, yeah? So do you know which users will you share those licenses with? Well, that's on its own is a plan, because you might end up sharing license with users that doesn't really that are not really active on Microsoft Office, let be Copilot. So you need to wisely choose the users, because their success will be the story that you will tell to the whole organization spreading the news and helping you carry on with the adoption, because maybe you wanted at the beginning to pilot the idea, to pilot the framework, start with a smaller group, and then share their success. All right. Now, when can I use this, or how can I use this, or how can I learn more? Studies have shown that learning from peers actually way effective, way more effective. That's why you might need to introduce what we call champion program. All right. So the champions, i.e., the peers, will lead this adoption with you. Once the mass training is done, everyone knows what is Copilot, what's in it for me, how to use it. Now we will need to personalize the scenarios. Now we want to personalize the experience, role-based training, take them to more advanced scenarios. At the end, what you're trying to achieve is building trust, because building trust with users is essential for successful adoption and maximizing AI benefits within the organization. Without trust, for trust between the end user and the IT team, trust between the end user and the technology, you will not go anywhere. Now, the implementation and framework. What we've discussed so far is the need for a solid adoption plan, the main pillars that this plan or framework should work on, and that's basically technical side, leaders, and people, understanding their emotions and so on. Now let's delve into the implementation framework. What is the framework that I'm supposed to follow? How will I create a user enablement team, to follow this framework in order to succeed in my adoption plan? The framework we're introducing today is here. I'll go into more details, but this is a quick overview. You see, at Technology, we recognize that adopting new technology can be really challenging. That's why today we want to introduce to you this framework, what Microsoft called Microsoft 365 Copilot User Enablement Framework. That will take you, it's a straightforward guide to help your team implement Copilot. It will take you from zero to hero. This framework draws on insight from successful customers, experts, partners, right, worldwide. They successfully implemented this framework and worked for them. We successfully implemented it with our customers and our clients, and I will share with you some examples later on. And we have achieved a very good numbers when it comes to consumption and adoption rates. Without further ado, those who have never seen these 4 pillars before, allow me to guide you through it. This is what we call the Microsoft 365 Copilot User Enablement Framework. It's structured into these 4 phases: get ready, onboard, and engage, deliver impact, extend, and optimize. Basically, when we run this full course, usually at Technologies, it's an 8 hours course, full day. So we go thoroughly exploring every pillar and the actions and the milestones and the activities that needs to be done, providing the learners with best practices and essential tools to develop and execute their adoption plan. For this webinar, however, we will provide a summary of the concepts. We will focus mainly on the get ready and some highlights from the other phases, and I will tell you why. You see, the get ready is the biggest phase on them all, because in the get ready, you basically plan for every other phase on the get ready. Basically, on the get ready, you form the AI council that will guide the whole experience. On the get ready, you will identify success owners. And what's the meaning of success in the first place? In the get ready, you will identify the champions and early adopters. On the get ready, you will identify the scenarios. And then when you start training people, you will tailor the training to meet those scenarios. Yeah. In the get ready, you will define the success criteria, the KPIs, and the success measurement plan. So that's the get ready. We prepare for the adoption. And then we start onboarding by training users and completing the training of the users for the foundation and the details of Copilot. Yeah. Now, we define here the user experience. We collect their feedback. We understand their emotions in order to build the user experience for them. On the onboarding and engage phase, we design and deploy a center of excellence where they will have the training and engagement resources, community, and so on. We launched the employee communication and champion program on this phase. And we onboard executives because the sponsors and the AI council that we spoke about here, they're not every executive on the organization, but now we're going deeper, we're going mass. So from every department, we need the executives to be onboarded, to be trained as well, to help you deliver the message to their team, to help you to get the commitment from the team. And then to guide the whole experience, we said statistics and studies have proven that there's a big value of learning from peers. So we need the champions to be trained in order to help us drive the rest of the adoption. Now that everyone is trained, we need to deliver impact. We need to make sure that we train them on the use cases that will help them to integrate Copilot into their daily business. So we need to review on the deliver impact. We need to review the success measures. Yeah, did we deliver impact or not? We need to conduct feedback and report analysis. We need to deliver and extend the training for personas and job role and so on. So this is where we realign the whole program to meet the KPIs and the success we agreed on. And not only to realign, to make sure and to let's say, because what happens is that let me say this. What happens is that there's a big time between get ready and onboarding, and while you're onboarding your team, the technology might change. So I need to revisit that again to make sure that I'm utilizing the new change to deliver impact. Yeah. At this stage, I will collect success stories because it will help me delivering the same program to a wider audience. By this phase, your employees knows everything about M365 Copilot. All right. But now, maybe you discovered certain scenarios that actually needs more than Copilot capabilities, or Copilot can do the job, but I need to tailor the experience because I focused here in user experience. Remember, people first approach what they think, how they want to do jobs. Yeah. So I want to make their life easier. So I will extend and optimize the experience by extending Copilot capabilities. And for instance, the famous example here is to create agents. Those agents will be scenario specific. So let's roll back a little bit. An HR personnel now knows by this phase how to use M365 Copilot, but then writing prompts all the time to compare CVs is not really doing the job, because selecting a candidate is not just a prompt, it's a process. Starts from reviewing the CVs, starts from writing the job description, reviewing the CVs, comparing the CVs, shortening the CVs, and then conduct interviews. So I need some prepared list of questions, and maybe the job role is a technical role, so the HR is not really aware of that, and so on. So it's a whole process. Yeah, this is an extended scenario. Copilot can do the job, but then multiple steps in order to do that. In this case, I will create an HR agent. That's a discovered scenario. That is a high value scenario for my organization. So I will deliver business process transformation with Copilot Studio plugins and connectors with agents. I will drive group and cross-organization productivity and innovation. This phase will help you understand custom line of business opportunities for you to sell on the adoption. Moving on, some real world examples. Ladies and gentlemen, PG&E, for instance, they managed to build 70 custom apps to streamline inspections, safety, and maintenance workflow. When I say 70 custom apps, I mean apps that does not need a single line of code, and that is all with the capabilities of Copilot in Power Platform. They managed to reduce paper-based processes and improve data accuracy across 16,000 field workers. They enabled faster response time and real-time decision-making in critical infrastructure operation, because Copilot can retrieve information quickly. Copilot can summarize information faster. Copilot can aid decision-making. And this is only one story. A1, for instance, they deployed Copilot Studio to enhance over 3.5 million customer conversations annually. Yeah. They integrated even Azure AI language for accurate Dutch language processing, boosting service precision. To the rest of it, of the benefits in front of you. We will share with you this deck later in a form of PDF. So you will be able to, I've designed the deck this way, that it's supported with links and resources for you to visit and read more later on. You will see some templates in my presentation. Due to the time, I will not be able to go word by word from these slides, but I'm designing them for you to read. Yeah. Then we got Cineplex here, the automated manual telecom invoice processing. Yeah, they saved 30,000 hours annually. Imagine that. And these are not the only stories. The stories are a lot around the globe, how Copilot actually helped organization. Here in Qatar, we managed to run Copilot adoption program in what we call Wave 1, where we piloted 9 entities, and we managed to increase their productivity in only 6 months. 6 months to between 10 to 20% productivity. Yeah. The success was huge. We've been awarded Wave 2, and now we're dealing with 17 entities. 17 government entities. Why is that? Because they realized the value of Copilot. The success story helped the others move on into the adoption as well. And that's what you will do in a smaller scale on your organization. In summary, this part of the slides emphasize people first approach to integrate AI like Copilot, focusing on leadership, human transformation, and technical skills. We covered user enablement phases and highlighted how organizations use Copilot to improve research, productivity, sales, marketing, and so on. Right. Now we will move to the next part. And when you get this deck later on, you will find some resources for you in here. If you want to capture the screen, feel free to capture the screen. And you can access it even before you get the access. But for now, we will jump to an interactive quiz, a quick Kahoot for those who have never played Kahoot. I'm just firing up my Kahoot. Right. All right, there will be a QR code on the screen. Please scan the QR code. Join us on this interactive quiz. There are going to be 4 questions for this part of the webinar. You will keep the Kahoot on your devices because we will come back to this Kahoot after each and every module. The Kahoot rules is as follows. You will get questions, and every question has a timer, and you just gotta pick your correct answer before the time ends. The faster you pick a correct answer, the more points you get. Waiting for you to join. All right, the team is telling me that my screen is frozen. Sorry for that technical issue. Let me stop sharing. And I wonder now it was frozen since when? I hope it's back now. And I hope you can see the QR code. Brilliant. This question is for the team. Were you able to see my annotation on the screen? This is brilliant. We have a brilliant question here. And the question is, how do I automate IT help desk using SharePoint? I can address that at the end of the session when we talk about extending Copilot capability, because one of the ways is to create a help desk agent. And this help desk agent will support your team by receiving requests, accomplishing tasks, saving content to document, and so on. So or SharePoint. So it could be an agent that you deploy to SharePoint itself, or an agent that you deploy to Microsoft Teams. So I can show you a quick walkthrough, a live demo later on. Okay. So keep those questions coming. It's the best way to maximize the learning out of this 1 hour that we're spending together. The more questions you ask, the better knowledge that I can give you. We have a lot to share with you, but we've chosen the adoption topic for today. Right. So remember, the faster you answer, the more points you get. And think about it this way. This Kahoot is not, the idea is not to test your knowledge only. It's more to reinforce the learning and to deliver points in an interactive and fun way. To save time, I'm going to begin. All right. Those who joined late, the game pin and the URL will be at the bottom of the screen here. Once we start the session, at the bottom, there will be URL to access and a game pin as well. Let's begin. All right. What's the core idea of the people first approach in tech adoption, like in Microsoft 365 Copilot? Brilliant. 18 got it right. It's to put user experience ahead of usage stats. Why does the Microsoft 365 Copilot user enablement framework work? Or actually exists, sorry. You got 5 seconds. It's the framework is to guide organizations and companies through the Copilot rollout, from the planning to the execution to impact delivery until the extension of the capabilities and the advanced use cases. Amaka is at the top of the podium. Moving on. Why is user enablement key for adopting Microsoft 365 Copilot? Does it turn everyone into AI expert? 100%. You got it right. Last question for this part. Yes. Building leaders who use AI to drive business results, not just to say, oh, we have AI in our organization. All right. So keep the Kahoot interface active. We will come back to the rest of the questions on the next slides. All right. Now, I'm going to try to go quick with those slides because I want to show you some demos as well. Yeah. So here to you some actionable steps and best practices that you can start implementing today in your organization for any AI project that you have in place, because all AI projects needs adoption. All right. Number one, you need to identify the essential roles required to build the right user enablement team. All right. And this is all, by the way, the 6 of them are part of the first phase, the envision phase of your adoption journey. Once that is checked, you would need to create an AI council, define a user experience strategy as well. And number 4, identify and prioritize scenarios. What scenarios do I want to work on now? What scenarios do I want to work on later? The idea here is to choose the high impact scenario. You see, if you find an opportunity where Copilot can help in automating something or a process, but that process is used by only one person in the organization, then this is not an impactful scenario or a high impact scenario or a high priority scenario. So target scenarios that will be used by many employees, different roles. Yeah. Those are the high impact scenarios, because the scenario you're working on, it could require a huge effort and low impact. So drop that or come to it later. Focus on those with less effort needed and wider impact. So if you're in hospitals, clinics, and so on, then maybe focus on doctors and nurses roles. Yeah. If you're in engineering organization, then focus on the engineers, on the field workers, focus on the roles that has high impact. Number 5, establish success measures and reporting plan. On the first phase, you need to know, how will I measure this and how will I report it? Is there an escalation plan in place? How will I collect feedback? When will I study the feedback? How will I reflect the feedback on my plan in order to be agile in my change management plan? And don't forget to assess your organization readiness, because nowadays, most of the organizations, they rush themselves into AI and implementing AI. But you know what? Technically, we're not ready. Some of us did not even finish the data classification project. Some of us doesn't even have sensitivity labels on their documents. A lot of oversharing in SharePoint and OneDrive. We're not ready. And that's just the technical part of it. What about the skills? What about the license? What about the leadership? All right. So all these aspects needs to be checked and needs to be addressed as well. So I'm going to pause here because we have another question. In this session, are we going to learn how to create an agent? This is not the aim of the session, but I will quickly walk you through it. All right. We have other webinars for that. Keep an eye on our website and our LinkedIn page, Tech Knowledge, and we have other dedicated webinars for agents. Another question. Thank you for this wonderful presentation. How can I social media manager journalists make the best out of? Oh, brilliant. Well, this is a whole chapter now. Okay, you can draft content, you can create content, you can create images, you can ideate and brainstorm with Copilot in order to create social media marketing plans and strategies. Yeah, a timetable. You can create an agent to automate posting as well. Yeah, so you can start from the ideation until the verification, until generating the artifacts, content, supporting documents, videos, all with Copilot, until the final post on social media. Everything within the process, as long as the process is clear, then Copilot can help you achieve it. But unfortunately, due to the time, I won't be able to demo everything in here, but reach out, link me in. I'll be more than happy to walk you through all these details and share with you resources. It's a chance for me. I was so excited at the beginning of the webinar. I didn't even introduce myself. My name was there on the main slide, but then I delved immediately into the content. So, hey, this is my LinkedIn. We would love to hear from you. Yeah. It's Aiman Elkhalifa. I go by AI Man. so you won't forget my name. Okay, moving on. Do we have another question? No. Let's carry on. So what we want to share with you, just to show you, the aim of this session is not to create agents, is to walk you through how you're supposed to get ready for your adoption and how we can help you in order to achieve your adoption plan using Microsoft Adoption Framework. Now, you need to assemble the right team. Yeah. And by assembling the team, I mean the user enablement team, the team that will guide will lead the change. Yeah. So you need to they need to understand the organizational change management practices. Yeah. The team must be technically equipped. Yeah, with Microsoft 365 tools at least. They need project management skills, advanced project management skills, because you have the champions projects, you have the early adopters projects, you have the change management project, you have the whole adoption program itself. So within the program, you have multiple sub-projects when you do your adoption. It's not just as a friend of mine used to say, it's not just a prompt. Yeah. So you have phases, you have feedback and a feedback loop to consider, and so on. So this team should have program management skills. Yeah, they should understand the business processes and the vision. What are we now? Where we want to be. They need, of course, strong written and verbal communication, and the ability to model desired leadership skills, because they will lead this adoption. They will basically be examples for this successful adoption. Now, while you're assembling your team, as you're recruiting your user enablement team and leader of this team as well, you need to consider the following characteristics. Yeah, that we summarized here in the points that you see on my slide. So a good understanding of organizational change management practice, yeah, done, technical skills, and so on. So get executive sponsors and business stakeholders. You need to provide vision and overall leadership for the initiative. You need them to be onboarded with you on your adoption. Where do we want to go? What value will I gain out of this adoption, this technology? Yeah, in terms of productivity, in terms of creativity, and so on. Appoint success owners. owners, because they will ensure the business goals are realized, and they will help other employees to use and get value from this technology. We need user enablement leaders as well, because they will be accountable for the user satisfaction, how the users are feeling, are they finding difficulties, and then we will address these difficulties and needs with new capabilities, enhancement, new features, new agents, and so on. And then business representations as well. So in short, you will find all of this on the deck that we will share with you. Have a template like this, yeah? What is the key role? What are the responsibilities? What department? What do they do exactly? Yeah. I'm adding on the deck for you as well the user enablement team model. It's a model that can help you position your team and their responsibilities in the right way. You will find on this deck as well how to create an AI council. Yeah. What executive sponsors do I need? The change management team, the risk management team, all these details are here and on the resource I'm sharing in here as well. And this council should begin by defining the business strategy and what does business strategy actually means. I'm running quick here because I want to explore scenarios, because without the right scenarios in place, you will not know how to tailor Copilot to your organization. So you need to identify the correct impactful scenarios. Have a template to collect those scenarios, yeah? Hear the user stories and then explain to them how Copilot can help them. Use metrics like this in order to prioritize your scenarios. Which scenario is of a high impact and less difficulty, so I can achieve it on time and find quick wins, yeah, or achieve quick wins. So you will find on the deck as well how to define your success criteria as well, how to identify and establish KPI benchmarks. And you need a template for that, yeah? So there will be a track and report success template for you to use and follow. So with all that in mind, let's go back to our next Kahoot. All right. You know what? We're running out of time, so we're going to do all the Kahoots at the end of the session, yeah? So let's carry on, and then we will do the Kahoot one shot at the end of the session, because we're already running out of time. I hope you all agree. So continuous improvement, that means you need to build your engagement plan. You need to build your engagement strategy, yeah? You need to understand who needs to be informed, who needs to be trained, what do they need actually, who needs to be onboarded on the first phase, who needs to be onboarded on a later stage, what communication media do I need to use? Is emails enough? No. Social media, in-person events could be. You need to study and come up with an engagement strategy. And when we say engagement strategy, we're talking about your internal communication, your internal communication plan, yeah? So what content would suit your learners? Understand your users. Do they do they like to read text or watch videos, or see infographics, and design the right media for them to help them realize the value out of Copilot and to introduce the new features of Copilot to them as well. So for this, there is a framework as well that begins with spreading awareness and then driving engagement and then measure this part and then manage the change, yeah? So I'm keeping all of this on the deck for you to review later on. Now, I'm just gonna jump into some best practices for building communication strategy. Clearly explain what's in it for me, for the end user. They have this question all the time. Why should I go for this technology? Showcase Microsoft Copilot benefits and with real scenarios from their scenarios that they can relate to. Yeah, share success stories of other teams and other departments. Organize diverse activities, engage them, incentivize them. All right, gamify the experience, give them awards, champions, and so on. Have leaders introduce Copilot. If the communication comes from comms team or only IT, we've seen it in real world. It doesn't work all the time. But when a leader shoots an email, tell everyone about the benefit of Copilot and guide everyone and support and influence everyone to use it, that will help your adoption. Now, build a training strategy. Yeah, have a clear strategy in mind. Should I begin with foundation and then move on? Should I begin discovering scenarios and then I tailor the training foundation on the scenarios? So have a clear training strategy before you conduct the training, and that begins by asking the right question: what training is needed, who needs to be trained, and how do they prefer to learn? You see, for a continuous learning and a successful adoption, the value realization that the value that you will get out of Copilot is not only for the individual, it's for the department, for the whole organization. All right. So we recommend that you begin by developing basic Copilot skills to everyone. All right. Then apply them to department by department cases. So everyone knows the foundation, then take the department KPIs, take the department scenarios and equip them for their scenarios. This will help you achieve advanced and finally advanced scenarios for the organization wide workflows. Rapid enablement training. What we're trying to tell you here is that we have the framework, we have the tools, we've done it before. To know more about what we can help you with, feel free to scan the QR code and access our website and visit our Copilot programs where you will see how we do it, yeah, from the foundational training to Copilot for individuals, Copilot for the whole organization, Copilot for persona-based, and so on. I jumped into the extend part for the person who asked me about the demo, but then because of the time, I won't be able to do the demo. What I want to tell you here is that you have 3 phases in order to enhance the capabilities of Copilot, in order to achieve advanced scenarios. So the strategies are as follows. On the explore phase, you will identify opportunities, yeah, gather data, prioritize the use cases. On the explore, you understand the business patterns of activities in order to expand on it. Because on the expand phase, you will learn Copilot Studio features. You will start moving from Microsoft 365 Copilot into agents in order to address the advanced scenarios and extend the capabilities. Grow Copilot adoption by targeting key users, tech savvy, enhance their skills, optimize the usage. If you don't have license to distribute to everyone, then build an agent that can support everyone. So agents can actually help you achieving all those advanced scenarios. But when you consider developing an agent, we recommend that you follow the MOCA, the Modern Collaboration Architect. And I'm keeping the architecture here and on the slide deck for you to review later on. Agents will be built using Copilot Studio. The Microsoft Copilot Studio will help your team to customize the Copilot, yeah, to connect Copilot to over 1,200 different data sources. So even if you have an in-house developed application that Copilot cannot talk to, you can develop a connector for that and connect Copilot to your in-house data source. You can leverage AI capabilities and the rest of Microsoft AI offers into your agent and embed that into your experience. Now, for the final Kahoot, we still have time, team? We exceeded the time, isn't it? I don't think they will mind the code, but for a reason, we're going to have to start again because I lost the connection. And we will see from the joiners whether they're interested in the final Kahoot or not. Sorry, team, for extending the time. Let me recap some things here. As I said at the beginning, this Copilot adoption framework is a huge piece. Yeah, it needs a lot of thinking. That's why Microsoft have designed a full day training course for it. We've highlighted the main concepts here for you to help you jumpstart this idea and explore more through the resources that we will share with you. All right, so everyone is here. Brilliant. Let's avoid the duplication and let's randomize some things here. All right, let's begin. Brilliant. Yeah, I'm gonna skip this one. We've tried it the last time. Let's move on. What do you think the primary role of a champion is? Yeah. Next. Abdul Hadi got it first. Brilliant. So what is a COE? So why user enablement is key for adopting, sorry, Microsoft 365 Copilot. It's one of the questions that we've answered earlier. So you gotta be quick. You got 5 seconds. Right, moving on. So what does Copilot Studio enable you to do with M365 Copilot? Yes. It's not predefined settings in Copilot Studio. You're in control of the flow of the conversation with Copilot, the data source that Copilot fetched the information from, and so on. And we said it's over 1,200 connectors to different applications. Why do identify and prioritize scenarios when you're in an early adoption stage? Right, to address business challenges and achieve outcomes. So what is the primary purpose of an AI council then in an organization? To oversee and guide responsible AI and ethical use and acceptable use as well. Tough one. It would have been easier if it was right after the session, the topic, but there we go. It's unveiling. It's revealing. Yes, extend, because you're talking about advanced skills. Yeah. On the explore, you've discovered the foundational skills. On the extend, you go to the advanced skills. What is the main role of executive sponsors and business stakeholders in a technology enablement team? Yep. Vision. Brilliant. What's the primary role of early adopters? Yep, because they try it first, and they usually are part of the get ready phase as well. Yeah, so I take their input in order to reflect that on my change management plan, marketing plan, my communication plan, training plan, strategic plan, and so on. So for typos up there. 4 seconds. So repeat a question. Yes, you all got it right. Sam was first. What's the primary goal of the rapid enablement training plan designed for Copilot? Five seconds. So it's to facilitate rapid user onboarding. Yeah, the framework is clear. If the user is on a fundamental level, they know where to jump in from foundational training. If the user is a champion, they have their separate track. If the user is an advanced user, on the extent, we tackle the advanced scenarios so they gain the knowledge they need. What is an essential aspect of assessing your organization's needs for adopting new technologies? Essential aspect. Readiness of your organization. Last question. So in becoming an AI-powered organization with Copilot, what's the key focus of the leadership pillar? Yep, building leaders who uses AI to drive business value, and the winners are we have Hamid, I believe that's Hamid, and then we got Neo, then Sam first, fourth and fifth, Abdullah or and well, there was one question. The person who asked the question was out of the lost connection. Well, Copilot can actually help you on automating help desk tasks by creating an agent for the. I can think of several scenarios. Yeah, from the Copilot in Microsoft 365 to the Copilot agents as well. And you don't have to do a lot. You go to Copilot Studio, and on the Copilot Studio you can create an agent from a template. There is an IT help desk template. You just start from there, and then you would have an agent that answer follow up on tickets and answer questions, find information, and so on. At the end, just remember, at Technology, we do not walk away when the training ends. We're committed to your success. Yeah, and the end of the training is not the end of our communication. We stand by your side on every step on your AI journey. Yeah, offering ongoing support and guidance as you navigate your AI adoption journey. So please reach out. We would love to help. Whether you need expert advice, hands-on assistance, or just or just a briefing to your executive to get the management buy-in on and value realization, our team is always there for you. So if you're ready to take the next step, reach out to us. Let us accelerate your transformation journey together. Thank you for being with us today. Hope to see you in future webinars. Have a good one. Have a good rest of your day. Cheers. Bye-bye.